This week on Virtual Skeptics, Bob gets cold dead. Eve addresses concerns that she's too easy on creationists, and Tim is getting app happy. I'm your host, Brian Gosling. I can't see through this thing. There we go. I got the video working now. Okay. Hi. Not really Ryan Gosling. I'm sorry. This is the Virtual Skeptics. Thanks for joining us on this special Halloween episode. We're having a little bit of technical problems, so bear with us if you can for a little while. Bob has been eaten by a grue. But I assume he's going to show up at some point. But let me introduce the other people. First off, we have Eve Siebert, editor and blogger at Skeptical Humanities, and contributor to Skepticality and Insight without an S at skeptic.com. And Tim Farley, blogger at SkepTools and Insight at skeptic.com. Skepticality contributor, creative What's the Harm, and former JREF fellow. Who you don't see on screens, Bob Blaskiewicz, CSI's conspiracy guy, web columnist, blah, 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 blogger for Skeptical Humanities.
He's dressed as the Invisible Man.
Yes.
What a great costume!
As the invisible Bob. So, okay, so if you are joining us on this momentous hallowed occasion, or whatever you want to call it, thank you. And if you would like to participate, send us your psychic vibrations. No.
I'll get them.
Yes, Eve will get them.
Oh, hon.
Okay. Excuse me. You can tweet with hashtag Virtual Skeptics. You can use the Q&A app on Google+, or you can comment. Look, there's Bob on the YouTube channel. We will try to work your funny stuff or your questions into the shoe. First up, we do every week. We have a trivia question, and Tim, wonderful, fabulous Tim, groovy Tim, is going to provide our question for the week. What's the question, Tim?
Groovy, man.
Groovy.
This week, the groovy Pope had a few things to say that people were talking about. But I'm thinking about another thing the Pope said way back on October 31st, i.e. Halloween, 1992. What notable public statement did the Pope make on Halloween, 1992?
Was it boo?
It's a little bit more involved than boo.
Oh, okay. So, 1992, October 31st. Okay. Secondary quiz we have every week is these videos behind us. What are they? And there seem to be already answers coming in, but by the end of the show, if you can name those two videos, if you're the first one to name those two videos, you win a couple of people saying great. Congratulations. So that's our two things this week. Up first, we have.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Test
Okay.
the microphone first. Hi, Bob.
Hi, I made it.
Your microphone is overdriving like crazy, but
I don't know what that means.
You don't sound good.
Yes.
Here at all.
Here? Is that it?
It's
Yes.
just it's too sensitive. You need to turn on the sensitivity a bit, if you can.
Oh, it's too sensitive. Oh,
Too sensitive. It's going all Ryan Gosling on you.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, he's the purveyor of sensitive microphones. So Tim is first this week, and he's going to talk about some cool tech, as he does. Not lanyard this week, though.
No.
No lanyard?
Stop talking about lanyard.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
Not all about lanyard. No, this week I want to talk about some scary things you see on TV. There's scary music and evil people and hatred and fear. I'm not talking about horror movies. I'm talking about political ads. which if you live in the United States, I know it's not election time elsewhere in the world, but in the United States right now, it's election time, and we are being inundated with these political ads, and attack ads are all over the place. So you get the scary music, and, John Smith doesn't want what's best for you, the voter, and all that crap.
Sure.
So I looked into some of the things you can do to sort of fight back or find out whether the things that are being said in those ads are true or false or what, since skeptics are skeptical. And I'm going to try a neat trick here, which is I'm going to screen share my iPhone. And
Groovy.
there it is. That is
You're a wizard. An
Wow.
evil wizard.
Wow, your microphone is scary.
I can't find a control to take care of it. I don't know what to do. I'm just happy to be here, honestly.
Okay, Bob. I'm talking now, Bob.
Wow,
Right,
Bob.
so a couple years ago, I think for the 2012 election, there was this cool app that the Sunlight Foundation did called Ad Hoc. And
Yeah. You talked about it on the show before. Or was that the one?
Why is the screen not updating?
I see the little mouse thing. Nope, there you go.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Let's try that again.
Beep. Sorry, I was a little late on the beep.
Yeah.
Get Bob to do the beeping.
All right. Let's do camera. And this worked really well in rehearsal.
Yeah, it did, actually.
And I have no idea why it's not working now.
It was working a minute ago, but did the screen just not update, or?
Yeah, hang on a second.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll keep talking. A couple of years ago, the Sunlight Foundation did this cool app called Ad Hoc, and its claim to fame was that you could run it. It was kind of like Shazam for political ads. So you could, when one of these political ads, this up and hit the button, and it would recognize the audio, and then it would show you details about that ad, and it was pretty slick. But I checked it recently, and it appears that they haven't updated it for the 2014 elections. So, or at least I couldn't get it to recognize any of the ads in my area. So, but there's another app that was put out by the USA Today people, which is a newspaper in the United States for those who don't live here, and it is oops. Have to plug the phone in. It uses information from factcheck.org, and
Now, I'm only seeing your frozen image.
yeah, I know, that's because I switched cameras and weird shit's happening. I have totally broken everything. So we're going to stop doing that. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay.
And your
So
compression's
USA Today has an app called USA Today Ad Tracker, and basically it has a catalog of the ads that have been fact-checked by factcheck.org, and you can actually click the ad and watch the ad, and then you can go through the material that factcheck.org has on the ad, and they'll tell you whether or not the ad is correct or has incorrect information in it. And there's a couple of other good political fact-checking apps that are out there. One is the PolitiFact Settle It. app, which has all their latest fact-check stuff, so that has a lot of political claims in it. And Arizona, azcentral.com, which is the big newspaper in Phoenix, I think, has their own fact-check app. You have to be a subscriber. The other cool thing along the lines of political apps that's happened recently is a couple of months ago they added a feature to the Congress app, which is also the Sunlight Foundation. And they now have a feature on that where you can email your congressman. It sounds like a dumb feature, but actually emailing your congressman in the United States is sometimes an astonishingly hard thing to do because I guess they're super paranoid about spam. So they would have forms on their website or all sorts of elaborate procedures you had to go through to send an email to your congressman. And someone basically figured all that out and made sort of fake email addresses that do that for you. And they've now plugged that into the Congress iPhone app from the Sunlight Foundation. So with one button on your app, you can mail your congressman without having to jump through all the hoops. So that was what I had.
It's getting easier and easier.
Apps to do fact-checking and keep up with what your politicians are doing in this scary election season. That's the gist of what I had for you. And
Awesome.
Let me pass it on to the next person. I'll try to get my camera working again.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what people are seeing. I assume they see the same frozen image we see of Tim.
Yeah, I might have to drop out and come back in, but
Okay. Well,
Can you hear me?
yes, your microphone is actually pretty good now, Bob. And you know what?
That's good, Bob.
You want to just do it because it's your turn, and then Tim can deal with his technical problems and maybe go back if he wants to show some screenshots.
Sure.
Sure. What are you eating?
Well, let me just tell
Is that
you,
beef jerky?
Eve,
Hmm.
this isn't personal. We'd do this for anyone.
Oh, you know what, Bob? I seem to be okay. Check yourself. You're really bad with a box cutter.
Oh, crap! Oh, damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
I'm
I
confused.
used to help people. Only cool people will know the reference then.
Where is it you used to help people?
At Terminus?
Oh.
Oh, you guys are so lame. Fuck this show.
Okay.
All right.
That was my... Well, that worked out well. I was worth getting on for.
It probably works better with a studio audience. I'm just saying.
Yeah, probably. It tested well live. That's all I know.
That's true.
Okay, so America's relationship with Bigfoot just got a bit more complicated, I think, given two stories that were collected this week by Doubtful News. The first was a little slice of wonderful with the title, New York Bigfoot Advocate Wants the Critter on the Endangered Species List. One of the great terrifying things about America is that anyone can participate in local government. Take Peter Weimer from Chautauqua County, New York, who attended a legislative session. And much, I imagine, in the way that Mr. Smith went to Washington, stood and asked that the county become the first municipality to recognize Bigfoot as an endangered species. Weimer claims that 17 eyewitness sightings in the last 3 years. But the thing is that he also says that there have been about 100 or over 100 sightings in New York State since 1800. By that math, 20% of all sightings of the last 200 years have been in the last 3 years. So that suggests to me that the population is exploding, and it doesn't need to be put on the endangered species list. In fact, I think a cull might be necessary, and that takes me to, if you could bring up the first slide, that's a sign. I forgot to tell you about that. But if you go on, that brings us to our second one, the Bigfoot cull, the subject of our second article. Now, these guys.
Do you mean your next slide to come up, Bob?
Yes, I want my next slide up.
Okay. There's these guys.
Oh, okay, so these guys call themselves the Gulf Coast Bigfoot Research Organization.
Don't kill Bigfoot, GC bro.
Yeah, I know. Don't you, GC bro?
Aren't some of these? Is this like Bigfoot Dynasty?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, there's one beer. Two.
They call themselves the Gulf Coast Bigfoot Research Organization,
Ryan
but I call them silly hillbillies in ghillies.
Oh dear.
Thank you. Their leader is a guy named Jim Lansdale, a Vietnam veteran who apparently never really returned. Nonetheless, being MIA doesn't prevent him from getting a special, a pilot, on the Destination America channel called Killing Bigfoot. Their goal, to blow a hole in Bigfoot the size of a barn door. For science and to force the government to acknowledge that Bigfoot exists. But not any...
Until they shoot him.
Right, well, yeah, I mean, obviously. But not only... it's so weird because they don't want any old Bigfoot. They want to catch a... They want the body of an adult male in the 7 to 10 foot range. That's what they're going for. Anything
is it like a government limit on Bigfoot hunting? Is it like the fishing, like for the limits they have on the size of rockfish, or
Bigfoot misogynists?
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I don't know, like what?
Because they don't want to shoot the female Bigfoot.
A female Bigfoot isn't good enough for you?
She's not good enough for them.
So yeah, that was
Even though Patty was female.
It's true. The only potential drawback that I see in this whole plan is that we've peacefully coexisted with the Bigfoots for so long that oh man, I got something caught in my teeth. Got it. All right. Yeah. Oh shit, where's my arm? Okay, no. The only potential problem that I see is that, this would be a needless escalation in Meyerson and a pointless battle with the Bigfoots, whatever they're called.
Big feeties.
Yeah.
Grossfußen.
Hominids of diversity.
Hominids of diversity is my
something
Eagles cover band.
Yes. There you go.
But yeah, so basically, I see a bloody turf war. The Bigfoot organization in British Columbia was very critical, saying, "Why you want to shoot a Bigfoot A?" Because Canada.
Gotcha, Bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the big feet. They've never done anything to you.
They've never done anything, period. If you want to be honest.
Did they throw a pig at someone or something?
Did they throw a pig? There was pig throwing?
Something like that.
My sense is that, Eve, you're essentially right. And Sharon said this on her original reporting, that the star of the show are the guns. That strikes me as pretty much accurate. I mean, the only thing that makes this better than finding Bigfoot is that you could have some sort of catastrophic, firearm accident, which I'd watch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, if they're essentially shooting at something that doesn't exist, they're gonna, something.
Well, the thing is that they say that they're the first line of defense for livestock in Louisiana and Texas, and you're just like, you know what? You're actually a menace to the livestock. I'm willing to bet.
Well, are they saying that Bigfoot is the major threat to livestock in Louisiana?
No,
I think it's cousins actually.
Cousins, sure.
It's not as bad as some of Bob's jokes. Come on.
Well, it's true. But yeah, so apparently, and one of the interesting things about the Bigfoot culture is this is an actual debate that people have about how human and how many rights Bigfoot should in fact have. You know, if he's a descendant of humans, maybe he should have human rights. You know,
Descendant of humans?
Ancestor?
no, if he is a descendant, if he shares genetic
I think
material
he's
with
technically a
humans,
cousin.
because
Mm.
yeah, you know, if he's a close cousin like Melba, you know, like what 15,000 years ago, a female
Yeah,
human,
but also part panda.
part panda dog
I know.
bear.
Pig.
So technically, you could say that pandas are the biggest threat to livestock in Louisiana.
Basically, that's what they're claiming.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Yeah,
I know there is also a split amongst Bigfoot believers with you know, Bigfoot's kind of a big hairy human versus Bigfoot's a
Big
non-human ape.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
an alien. Or an interdimensional being.
I love that one. The
That's-
interdimensional being, where he can turn invisible and
and
Well,
slip
it
in and out of reality.
explains the whole
Yeah,
no
face.
body thing,
Oh yeah.
which is convenient.
And the other thing that it explains, it doesn't explain how he never knows that we're coming, but all you have to do is posit that he's psychic, and bang, that all falls into place. And you can see why the government would want to cover that up.
Sure.
Okay.
But is Bigfoot a reptilian?
You've gone into a dark place, and it's best that we don't talk about this anymore.
Is he aquatic?
David Icke.
Aquatic?
Is he?
Aquatic Bigfoot ape.
Yeah.
Start to combine your woo.
Yeah.
See, that's how he hides. He dives in the lakes and rivers and swims.
I get it. I get it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems that this particular group of hunters has been responsible. They're the ones responsible for hunting the North American unicorn to extinction.
Bastard.
Yeah, they harvested its farts for Skittles. So
Yeah. Really quick, I have to share this. This is Blake on Twitter. Hominids of Diversity is the name of my Vespa scooter club.
Oh, someone else said it was a Human League cover band, which I thought was
Yeah.
pretty good.
That was also pretty good, Yeah, well, that was kind of obvious, though. I was looking for something more clever.
Mm.
Good.
Well, you
That's
just
well done.
insulted terribly, but all right, fine.
Cousins. So don't shoot Bigfoot, CG bro. Thanks, Bob.
Uh-huh.
I guess I'm next. I got Terror. Terror from Technologies next, which is my new. Terror from Technology is my Kraftwerk cover band. No, this is This Week in Robot Apocalypse, and I've got a couple of cool videos. Let's see. Next week, when you're shopping for hardware for all your Christmas present needs, you may encounter something new at the hardware store, and hopefully this is not an ad. And no, it's not going to be scary hipsters, although there may be there.
My.
Well, yes.
That's hair.
Yes. Isn't that hair? That's pretty awesome. No, this is an ad by a group that does, let's see, it's called Lowe's Innovation.
A hardware store?
Yeah, it's the hardware store has done some interesting robotic stuff. They're looking at putting robots in their stores to help customers. Because apparently hipsters cost too much to help people out. But yeah, this is similar to a lot of the there's robots with the cameras on them. I can't think of the name right now. Telepresence robots. Essentially, it's starting out as a telepresence robot company, and they started working with Lowe's to produce a robot that could actually talk to customers in multiple languages, interact with them on a screen, take video of something they bring in they're looking for, like it'll do recognition of items, or you can look up on the screen, and it'll take you around the store and help you find stuff.
Do you
It looks
think we'll be able to
cool.
like find a robot to help us out at Lowe's? Because whenever I'm there, I can't find anyone.
I know. This is very limited. Going to be limited deployment when they start off. It's going to be one store in California. And although it looks really neat on video, and the recognition of, you know, they show a woman bringing in like a bolt and showing it to us. So I'm looking for these, and it says, "Oh, I know where that is," and takes you to the place in the store. It looks a little bit too easy the way it does that. I'm sure that it's going to be more like, you know, if you've tried any of the apps on your phone that try to recognize things, it'll be like you show it to the robot and it'll go, "Ding, I don't recognize that. Try again. Ding, I don't recognize that. Try again. Ding, okay, claw hammers." No, it's not a claw hammer.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm thinking about, in real life, customers are more like, I need a thing that does, and I don't know what it's called exactly, but it does.
Or when I showed up at Menards the other day, talking to the lady in I don't even know the name of the lighting. Yeah, I opened up a guitar amp and it looks like I may kill myself with it, and I was wondering if you had some sort of like rubber thing that I could stand on so as to not kill myself on it. And at this point, the robot would just like shut down.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things I think about when I see something like this. One, it's kind of cool, kind of futuristic. I'm sure that it's a good marketing thing. Come to our store because we've got robots. You can shop your hardware with robots. But in practice, I think they're going to be slow and clunky. I think they're going to drive people mad. Anyone's going to try to use this thing, it's going to just be so slow and clunky. Imagine trying to navigate following this thing through a store full of Christmas shoppers.
Well,
oh my God, this thing is going to try to be polite to everyone, and you're going to be like, "Just plow through. I want to get my frickin' screws."
It needs a manual override is what it needs.
Yes, which is called a human, actually.
Yeah, I just don't understand how this is better than a person who is trained and knows the store.
Well,
have you met those people?
I mean, I can see how it's better for Lowe's to not have to hire people to be in the store.
Yes, because it doesn't make sense.
It's better for the customer to not have a person to interact with.
Clearly, this is a conspiracy by the robots to take over. They can map out all the hardware stores where all they can map up all the hardware stores and find out where all the chemicals are and all the things they can build weapons with and all their spare parts and the robots and all that stuff, all the batteries, and they can take over. See, clearly, this is a conspiracy by the technology to take over. And I've made everyone get quiet because now I've gotten weird. No, I don't know. It's a marketing gimmick. Is what it looks like to me. So hipsters will go because I don't know. It's gluten free. Next up.
Oh my God! They should advertise it that way.
Gluten-free robots.
Gluten-free robots.
Gluten-free.
Now gluten-free.
Yes, because the hardware store wasn't previously gluten-free. Another robot here. This is the this one's made by a company called SoftBank, which is a Japanese company, and that's an ad. Can we not advertise for commercials right now? There we go. Let's do that one.
Oh, I thought that he was a really convincing robot.
No. This is Pepper, made by SoftBank. It's a Japanese company. This is a really cool little guy. He's about 4 foot high. Weighs about 28 kilograms, actually. So lighter than pounds. No, heavier than pounds. Sorry.
Heavier.
Different from pounds.
Different from pounds. See, he's got a microphone, a couple of cameras, some 3D sensors, a whole bunch of touch sensors, gyro sensors.
iPad.
It's got a touch screen. He talks. He can recognize emotions on people's faces from their facial expressions and from the tone of their voice. He's got articulated hands. He can move around in his own. Blah 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 blah. He's got Wi-Fi. He's connected to the internet. And, of course, this cool piece of technology is going to be used for something important, right?
Oh, Lord.
Hunting Bigfoot?
You'd think you'd give this guy a shotgun in a second, send him out in the woods, because
Automate that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Bigfoot looks sad.
Yes.
Bang!
Bang. No. This guy has 2 jobs currently. He just got 1 job. He's going to be in 20 different stores in Japan, selling Nestle dispense machines. Yep. And the other job, which it's another sales job. So apparently he's jobs.
He looks like he could be a televangelist.
Well, that's a sales job, so I'm sure he would totally do it.
Like a bouffant sort
And
of.
apparently he tells bad jokes as well. So
Oh,
we can replace Bob.
Well, I'm screwed.
That robot just put Bob out of a job.
Damn it.
Yes. So there you go.
and you see, I am eating your foot.
Yes, clearly. So there you go. We've got customer server. They're taking over. They're taking their jobs.
$1,800.
No. I think all of this. Yeah. And as I just noticed, this is going to be my joke, but it's now Blake's joke. That its big weakness is stairs because it has the same problem as the Daleks had before they could float. It's on wheels. So, even though these things take over our hardware stores and all of our resources and build weapons and try to kill us, you can just go upstairs and you'll be fine.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who was responsible for that rocket exploding? Was it Bigfoot or was it the robots?
I don't know. I think it was somebody who worked for NASA who mistook the relative weights of kilograms versus pounds. I'm just saying.
I can't speak for that, but I heard it was wasn't it a HARP experiment?
Yes, it was a HARP experiment, and it was also oh wow, what was the other one? The North Korean EMP didn't work.
Yeah.
So they had to blow up the rocket some other. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sure they're going to figure out what's going on. It could be something bizarre. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the boosters that were built in 1960s.
Oh, those things will last forever.
I'm just.
They break down. You could fix that with some duct tape and a hammer, and you're good.
Yes, I've decided I'm not going to listen to Elon Musk about anything, which I was going to talk about because apparently Elon Musk is afraid of AI taking over the world.
I heard that.
Yes, it was during an interview. He got flustered and made a dire statement about being afraid of and wanting to control our development of AI because it's dangerous. And my only thought was
Those are precious fluids.
yeah, I guess. My only thought was that clearly this guy who runs a company that deployed space technology for the first time as a commercial entity knows everything about all the technologies that he doesn't produce in his company, including AI. So,
Dude, he's a visionary. He's allowed to make sweeping statements like that and be taken seriously.
No, I only listen to Kurzweil.
Yeah.
So there you go. My crazy comes from one source, damn it. So
Yeah,
there you go.
Singularity
That's
any day now.
Any day now. Any day. I'm gonna wake up in a computer tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So moving right along. Thanks for putting up with me. Eve is next. Eve's gonna make some predictions.
No.
Am I gonna die tomorrow? Am I gonna be a computer tomorrow?
Yes.
Yay.
And you're going to be shot by Bigfoot. Bob's going to eat you.
Alien or multi-dimensional Bigfoot?
Yes.
Yes.
All of them, all the Bigfoots.
Wow.
Anyway, this is important, serious information about a terribly important. It's going to be groundbreaking conference on November 1st. A group that's like the day after Halloween. A group called Creation Summit is holding an Origin Summit, a one-day free creationist workshop at Michigan State University, and you can win an iPad, though you have to be there for drawing. Yeah. Anyway,
Got me sold.
according to an article on Science Insider, Creation Summit secured a room at the university's business school through a student religious group, but the student group did not learn about the details of the program or the sometimes provocative talk titles until later, says MSU zoologist Fred Dyer. Excuse me a minute. Fake blonde hair.
As long as you don't have the fake cigarettes.
That's all right. Yeah.
So, what are the provocative talk titles, you may ask? Oh, hey, there's a slide
Well, there is.
coming up. Yeah.
Yay.
So we've got your Hitler's worldview,
Wow.
evolution going the wrong way, discovery of design,
Now, I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
today's astronomy, the Big Bang is fake, natural selection is not evolution, Lenski's experiment, and Mendel's account versus Avida, I don't know.
Now, I just
gonna
want to say, Rob Ross has gone a long way since he used to do his TV show. The Big Bang is fake guy.
Looks like Bob
Yes.
Ross.
Hates happy little trees. No? Never mind.
Yes, it is.
Now,
Somebody out on Twitter is laughing, I think. Or not. I'll go
the
with
talk titled Lenski's Experiment is particularly interesting. Richard Lenski is the Hanna Distinguished Professor of Microbial Ecology at Michigan State University.
Oh.
And he has been conducting a decades-long and apparently rather important study of evolution in bacterial populations.
Yep.
He's the one who's like sampling it every 10 generations or something, right? Yeah.
Sure.
He's evolving E. coli.
So this workshop talk is specifically targeting an MSU scientist in the hopes of getting attention and response, presumably. Oh, no, it's not one. It's actually two, because there's also this. If you bring up the next slide. They've scheduled a debate with Dr. Robert Pennock, quote, an outspoken critic of intelligent design who has written books and given speeches bashing the same. But do his arguments hold water? Can they withstand the scrutiny of debate?
Oh, the scrutiny of debate. Oh, no.
Find out November 1st when Dr. Pennock debates Dr. Charles Jackson at MSU. That is, if Pennock accepts the invite. The challenge was made back in March, and as of to date, which someone should be slapped for that, as of to date, he has yet to reply.
So they're advertising a debate that they haven't booked.
Yeah. Now, Pennock, he teaches in the departments of philosophy, computer science and engineering, and ecology, evolutionary biology, and behavior at MSU.
And underwater basket weaving?
Yes.
Jeez.
He is also involved in the Beacon Center for the Study of Evolution in Action. He's been working on the Avida Digital Organism project at MSU.
Ooh.
So one of the talks also focuses on his work. And he also testified in Kitzmiller versus the Dover Area School District.
Ooh.
So obviously he's a hero to creationists. Wait, no, the other thing. According to Wikipedia, at the Kitzmiller trial, he, quote, described how intelligent design is an updated form of creationism and not science, pointing out that the arguments were essentially the same as traditional creationist arguments, with adjustments to the message to eliminate explicit mention of God and the Bible, as well as adopting a postmodern deconstructionist language. Pennock also laid out the philosophical history of methodological and philosophical naturalism as they underpin science, and explained that if intelligent design were truly embraced, it would return Western civilization to a pre-Enlightenment state.
Objection, objection, he's winning, Your Honor.
Yeah. But he could not in a debate, though. That wouldn't work. In other words, as I said, popular with creationists. Now, this is a clever, if sleazy, ploy. If Pennock agrees to debate, he gives these douches publicity and legitimacy. If he doesn't, they claim it's because he's cowardly, that his arguments can't withstand the scrutiny of debate. And they're already sort of gearing up for that. They also apparently invited Lenski to debate. He refused. And he's encouraging his colleagues to just ignore the event. Quote, in my opinion, this event will be just another forgettable blip in the long history of anti-science, anti-evolution screeds. I suppose the speakers chose to target our research because their event is being held here, and maybe because they find it confusing to their worldview that evolution isn't supposed to happen. Their worldview that evolution isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, if you want to check out the credentials of the workshop speakers so you can compare them to Lenski's and Pennock's, the website very handily provides links to Creation Wiki, where you find all the good scientists.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really have much more to say about Creation Summit and Origin Summit. They're just really not worth it. But let's make fun of them for just a little bit.
Okay.
Yay!
The next slide appears under the list of talks.
What?
And I hope Ancestry.com, Susan.
Hold it. That's my cousin.
Yeah, Jim. Then the next
cousin.
slide, the next image, appears on the Creation Summit website. That's the founding organization.
Bam.
From the first grade on, our children are brainwashed with Darwinian dogma, while the state refuses any mention of creation whatsoever. Though all the evidence points or supports creation, that evidence has been banned, banished, censored, and squelched.
Oh my God! It makes me cry.
Poor whittle oppressed Whittamses.
And this is.
But they're not giving up.
Sorry, I just want to compare this to the same repeat that a lot of Christian organizations complain about not being able to pray in school, and that there's a difference between not being able to force your prayer on everyone else and actually not being able to pray in school.
Right,
And
right.
This is the same kind
Absolutely.
of thing. You're not banned, you're just not endorsed.
Right. But they're not giving up. They're taking the fight into the enemy camp, the liberal, elite, atheist, commie universities, where all philosophy professors force their students to write "God is dead" to receive a passing grade. Oh, no, wait. No, they're actually going to real universities, not the imaginary ones where Kevin Sorbo has an advanced degree.
Yes, Kevin Sorbo has tenure somewhere. God.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, the next slide, they talk about their plan
Whoa!
of action.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of something else.
Stop. Stop it, Bob.
We may have been banned from the classroom, but banned does not mean silenced. Although in the previous page, that sort of did mean silenced. By booking the speakers and renting the facility, we still have an impact.
Giving money to the university.
Well, yeah. Creation Summit is visiting major college and university campuses throughout the country, bringing world-renowned Sorry, world-renowned scientists before the students. Scientists with tangible proof and viable evidence. I want to see the proof that can actually be touched.
Mm-hmm.
Many, for the first time ever, are discovering that the Bible is true. That science and Genesis are in total agreement.
Totally.
And if Genesis 1 can be trusted, so can John 3:16.
There are so many problems with that logic.
Yes, like there isn't any.
Oh my gosh. It's just like Bible words put into a shotgun and blasted against a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing
What
is,
is John 3:16?
Some poetry.
Okay.
Has something to do with.
isn't the one that the guy with the rainbow afro holds up at sporting events?
Probably.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it's John.
Yeah, it's the,
I think it
it's
reads-
the famous verse, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life."
No, I'm looking it up. It's never gonna let you down.
Naughty.
Yeah, that one.
And they are planning on going to other campuses. There was one, University of Texas. I don't remember which campus. I think they're probably specifically going to be have to target state universities, because private universities with important like biology departments have greater leeway to say, you know what, no.
Yep.
They can pretty much do what they want. But it seems to me what they're doing is it's like going on a real life troll tour, a campus troll tour, that they're going around to colleges and universities, or that's their plan, to troll them, to try to provoke a response. So, and the one response in the article I read that they got was they made a Christian who's part of the Beacon evolution thing, a graduate student studying evolution, made her feel really uncomfortable. She said she never, as a Christian, never felt uncomfortable before at Michigan State studying evolution, but now, this is so creepy and appalling that they're, coming to the university, attacking their scientists. So good job, creationists. You win again. Oh, wait.
Damn! Damn, you've outsmarted yourself. Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know. It just sounds to me like trying to get attention by being controversial, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a common.
And specifically
thing
targeting
nowadays.
eminent scientists at that school. Because they're
And did it sound like they weren't being completely forthright with the student group that invited them there?
It did sound like that, except, they don't mention what the school group was. And you have was a professor of zoology. It sounds like he thinks they weren't being completely honest with the group. But that's all they say about it. So I don't really know.
Okay. It just seems like it's a common thing nowadays with the internet, and it is to try to be controversial to get attention. So, maybe put an event anyway. So let's say something that gets us in the news.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we can get attention to our event or whatever. So no, Rick Astley is not God. I'm just putting that out there. Thanks, Eve. That was interesting. Is that everything? That's everything. Wow. That was our time. So I guess we did pretty good for time. We got a couple of wrap-up things. So let's do the trivia question. Did anybody get the trivia question?
Yeah, Howard, a.k.a. Nigel St. Whitehall.
Yes, yeah.
Of the Skeptical Review site, Skep Review on Twitter.
Yep.
Correctly identified that on Halloween 1992 was the day that the Pope apologized to Galileo and said Galileo was right after all, and they shouldn't have ruined his life.
Yeah.
Did Galileo accept the apology? I don't recall.
Don't
Yes.
know if.
He had a seance, and Galileo. No.
Oh, cool. So it's cool they did it on the 31st then, because it kind of facilitated that acceptance of the.
Worked out really.
So, no, go ahead, Tim. What?
No, that was it.
Okay. The other thing, the two monitors behind me, and I try to pick easy ones because you guys haven't been trying, and I tried. I mean, this is all about contrast ratio right here. The lights are off so that you guys can see these. It's not really a spooky Halloween thing at all. No, kidding. Right away. Now,
Did you just
Tim,
call me kitten?
yes. No. I think it was
Nope, Cookie.
Nathan Miller got this first. He got it, and he got it before I even asked. He posted it right on Twitter as soon as he saw it. Yeah, well, I don't know because I like him, so it's all about who you know. On my left, I guess it's your right, is Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it's the scene with the time warp repeating over and over again. And on the other side is Professor or Dr. Frankenstein meeting Igor in Young Frankenstein, two of my regular watches at Halloween time. Congratulations, Nathan. And we've got some announcements this week, too. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, God,
a
settle
list.
in. We've got lots of announcements.
It's
Yeah,
Porgapalooza.
Tim has a segment on skepticality this week called Death Business.
Well, that's the name of the episode.
Oh, that's the name of the episode. So Tim is going to be on there, and that's the episode name. Eve has a new post on Insight with no S on skeptic.com. That's going to be I'm going to call it from now on.
Insight with no S.
Yes. And it's the subject she discussed in last week's show. And a bunch of TAM 2013 videos are up. Eve has a Sunday paper that's on YouTube. Tim's workshop from last year's on YouTube.
Yep.
The Skepticism Across the Curriculum workshop with Bob, Eve, Miranda, Celeste Hale, and Peter.
Go for it. Come on.
Boghossian. Boghossian. Who I don't think I've met him, but
he says it's pronounced like explosion.
Boghossian. Hey, that works. Yeah. Awesome. So that's on YouTube as well. All these
Did you
links
see how that rocket Boghossian?
Boghossian. Yes. Boghossian. I will blame him from now on. Why did you make it Boghossian?
With the gazinka-gazoink.
Okay, fine. And that's all the announcements, I think. Anybody else got anything? Nope.
Do you want more?
Yes.
No.
Now it's book time. And I hope Tim's got something groovy.
No, I gotta go first.
Yes.
Jeez. This is a common conceit derived from the history of Genesis, wherein it stands delivered that Eve was framed out of the rib of Adam, whence it is concluded that the sex of men still wants that rib our father lost in Eve. But this will not consist. Huh?
Can't have it.
Yeah.
That's a weird
Amy
fetish.
Poehler objects.
This will not consist with reason or inspection, for if we survey the skeleton of both sexes, and therein the compass of bones, we shall readily discover that men and women have 24 ribs. And again, though we concede that there wanted one rib in the skeleton of Adam, yet were it repugnant unto reason and common observation that his posterity should want the same. For we observe that mutilations are not transmitted from father to son.
Oh, man.
Well, that's confusing.
Yes.
I'm going to let Eve go next. I'm going in hair length.
Yeah. There, one Kirkman, Murdoch Mackenzie, became notorious for searching people's kitchens on Yule Day for the superstitious goose, telling them that feathers of them would rise up against them one day. At Urquhart on Loch Ness, the minister reported that he inspected all the houses in the parish on that date and found the people at work, but was suspicious that some of them wrought no longer than he was present.
Bob?
Ambrose Bierce defined a quack as, quote, a murderer without a license. But given the Jurassic state of malpractice laws in Brinkley's day, a license to kill was just what he had. He made the most of it, too. Though perhaps not the worst serial killer in American history ranked by body count alone, he is at least a finalist for the crown. At the Kansas Medical Board hearing in 1930, roughly the midpoint of his career, prosecutors proved that at least 42 people, some of whom weren't sick to start with, had entered his clinic vertical and departed horizontal.
Bah, he replied, nothing's out there, Professor. And if there is some animal, what chance would he have of spotting it? Can't you see we're just wandering around at random? People say they've sighted the slippery beast again in the Pacific high seas, and I'm truly willing to believe it. But 2 months have already gone by since then, and judging by your narwhal's personality, it hates growing moldy from hanging around too long in the same waterways. It's blessed with the terrific gift of getting around. Now, Professor, you know even better than I that nature doesn't violate good sense, and she wouldn't give some naturally slow animal the ability to move swiftly if it hadn't a need to use that talent. So if the beast does exist, it's already long gone. Duh, duh, duh. What's your book there, Tim?
It is a book called Popular Errors, Explained and Illustrated, a book for old and young by John Timms. It was published, as you might guess from the flowery language, in 1857, and it's essentially one of the older skeptical books because it's a lot of misconceptions and things to be skeptical of.
Cool. Eve, what's yours?
The Stations of the Sun, A History of the Ritual Year in Britain by Ronald Hutton, which I can't see.
Stations of the Sun.
It's Stonehenge with the sun rising.
Cool.
Nice.
Bob?
Mine is still Charlotte, and I think I did this last week, maybe the week before. But I just finished it with my students, and I was troubleshooting before this started, so I didn't get a book.
Well, you're not the only one who's done one book more than once.
Yeah.
Mine was correctly identified by Blake on Twitter as 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne, and it is one of the many books. It's a terrible cover in this version. One of the many books that is free to download on Amazon Kindle if you have it. So.
Yeah, you can get the one I read for free on a number of places.
So
Are
if
they
you haven't read it,
public
it's
domain?
cool.
Yeah, they should be public domain. You should be able to get them from Google Books too.
Yeah,
there's a
I
number
was
of places
reading
online
from
you
Google Book One, but it's also on Gutenberg. Anything prior to 1923 is out of copyright in the United States.
Yep. So get it, read it. It's cool. I guess that's it. Do we have any scary stories to add to the end of the show? I mean, we've kind of
technology is scary. I think that's the bottom line of this show.
That's true. We kind of got it working eventually, but the show was kind of rocky. But
my computers are undead.
Yeah.
I thought they were just dead.
Yeah.
Zombie computers. Next week on the Virtual Skeptics. Thanks, you guys, for watching and commenting. And did we get any Q&A? I don't think we got any Q&A. No Q&A. There's the logo. There's the music. We're dancing. Trust me. The Virtual Skeptics. An independent production of What's the Harm.net. Skeptic Mendes, Brian Gregory, IBC, S everywhere, and Delta.
What?
The logo was designed by Sarah Media at sarahmedia.com. It's not music Kent and music Hooch.
What? Put your hands in the air.
Nice hands.
Wave 'em